Hello and welcome back to Just Meg Elise, a podcast about healing, remembering who you are, and learning to live in deeper alignment. I'm Meg, and each week I'll be sharing the soul work, the self-reflections, and the healing tools that have helped me in the hopes that they help you too. During today's episode, I want to talk about breathwork. It is such a simple practice, but yet it is the gateway to nervous system regulation. So breathwork is one of the most powerful but most overlooked tools that we have for healing. And oftentimes when we're stressed or anxious or scared, we have very shallow breath. I heard somebody explain this one time. It has to do with evolution, that, if we were scared, we were hiding from, a prey or a predator, our breath would become very shallow because we didn't want them to hear us. Well, now evolutionary, we've carried that on with us, and our breath can be very shallow, and we can hold on to that even once the anxious moment or the scared moment or the stressful moment is gone. And this definitely applied in my own life. I remember going to a massage therapist. This was back in 2012, I think. She was like rubbing right here because it was so painful. Like my chest was like really sore all the time. And she said, that's because you're extremely anxious and your muscles are tensed up, but you're shallow breathing. So this part of your chest never gets to like expand with you inhaling deeply. So that's really all that you need to do to fix that. The first time I ever practiced breathwork, I remember was in a yoga class. But then when I was driving on my way home from work, I used to work in legal. I worked in legal for many, many years, over 15 years. And I started out when I was 16, like working as a runner. That job, it just wires you for stress and you're so tense all of the time. And I remember I was driving home from work one day and I thought, I have to fix this. Like I have to fix this shallow breathing. It was shortly after seeing that massage therapist. And I just started deeply breathing on my car rides home. And that's how it first started. In my car, I knew this is the time to breathe. Nobody else is here. Nobody's watching me. Just can I deeply inhale? Really expand the lungs, feel all of these muscles like release, and exhale slowly. And that's what I did. That's what it started out as. And then in 2016, I became a yoga instructor and I learned different breathing techniques to help me as well. So that expanded my knowledge even more. And I want to share a few of those breathwork techniques with you guys today. Some of my favorites. I'm going to share 3 of my favorites. Breathwork is this free, accessible tool that we have at our disposal every single hour of every day, but we often don't take advantage of it. We don't see the benefit of it, I think, a lot of the times, unless we've practiced it. Also, I think that we tend to brush it aside. We're like, I don't have time for that. It's going to take too much time. I don't have time for that. And honestly, every single breathwork practice that I'm going to show you today takes less than 5 minutes. You can honestly just do it in 60 seconds and still feel better. And all of us have 60 seconds, all of us. So if there's something free that you can do every single day to make yourself feel calmer, to make yourself feel less anxious, to make yourself feel less stressed, wouldn't you want to try that? I would. I'm so thankful that I found breathwork. It has been a game changer. And I've taught it to my mom. There was one time my mom was like getting ready to go into this phone job interview, and I happened to be sitting next to her, and I could tell that she was nervous. And I said, let's breathe. Let's do some inhales and exhales. And I remember how much different her body seemed after we practiced that together. And I thought, like, this is something. This is really something. That was a lovely moment to have had with her, where I helped her through something like that. And I could see firsthand how much it helped her, how much it calmed her body. And I know that you can, and I hope that you do apply this to yourself as well. One of my highest rated meditations on the Insight Timer app is called the Stress and Anxiety Buster Meditation. I created that back in 2019, and I think why it's so successful is it's only 5 minutes long, and at the beginning we practice the 4-7-8 breath, and then we do affirmations, and that's it. That's the whole meditation. It's been accessed by over 200,000 people. It has thousands of 5-star reviews. And I created that meditation during a time in my life when I was so stressed. So I'll tell you what happened. I was at work one day. This was back when we worked in the office, like back before COVID. And this attorney spoke to me so poorly. She like screamed at me for something that she thought that I did wrong. But it wasn't even a mistake. It was just like I did it differently than how she would have done it. And I remember I was so pissed off at her. I was pissed off that she thought she could speak to me like that. I was pissed off that she did speak to me like that in front of others, like belittling me. And I wanted so badly to speak back to her. But if you work in legal, you know that environment. It's like the attorneys are allowed to speak to you however they want to, but you're certainly not allowed to speak to them poorly back, which is just insane. It's just the culture there. But anyways, doesn't make it okay. but it's just the culture. And so I thought, Megan, you just need to walk away. And I ended up going to a different floor. I worked in downtown, so we were in a high-rise building, and I ended up going to a different floor, and I just found like this nook where nobody was. And I remember standing there and I thought, I need to calm the fuck down. So I did the 4-7-8 breath, and then afterwards I told myself affirmations like, you are safe. Nobody can hurt your feelings except for you. Just like I started saying affirmations to myself. And then I thought, Megan, you got to write this down. You got to record it. Like, because this was perfect. It made me feel so much better. And it took me 5 minutes. And at first I thought you just need to record it for yourself to listen to and play back whenever you're having a stressful moment. But then I also had the idea that I need to record this. I need to give this to other people. And it's just too funny how something so small has become such a huge success, and so many people have gotten the benefits of that meditation, and I'm just really, really proud of that. And it's breath work. Like, I know that I recorded the meditation, and yeah, I'm so proud of that, but it's the breath work. I didn't invent breath work, you know? It's crazy to me that how the body has this free mechanism to calm the fuck down. And we often don't utilize it. And when we do, the effects of it, fabulous. So years ago, I started experiencing panic attacks. This was back in 2009 through 2012. I was in an emotionally abusive relationship, and I felt very stuck. I didn't know how to tell anybody what was going on. He could also be physically abusive, but not towards me, thankfully. He would just like break things in front of me, break things near me, drive recklessly with me in the car, that sort of thing, like do things to appear scary, but thank God he never actually hit me. But I did wonder if it would escalate to that one day. I remember just feeling lost, and like I couldn't tell my family. I was embarrassed. Couldn't tell my friends. I was embarrassed. And I thought, well, maybe he'll just get better. Maybe he'll just... Sorry. I'm not going to apologize for crying anymore, because crying is such a cathartic release, so I'm not going to apologize for that anymore. I think I stayed because I mean, I did love him. You think it's just going to get better, and it doesn't. And I'm so glad I had the strength to finally leave, and I had the support system to finally leave. I've had to overcome many things from that relationship. Just the way he spoke to me, which I then internalized that I was no good or not worthy or whatever it was, not beautiful enough. And I internalized those things that I've been working through for years. But also the panic attacks. Like, I remember I got a panic attack so bad one night, I really thought I was having a heart attack. I made him take me to the hospital because I didn't know what was happening. And then after, doctor's appointments and tests, a doctor finally figured out it was an anxiety attack, panic attack. And my chest was becoming so tight that it felt like I was having a heart attack. What saved me from that was when I finally got out of that relationship in 2012 and I moved back home. Breathwork and yoga is what saved me. Yoga saved my back. I was in so much pain. I had an injury when I was 16, so I have a lot of back pain. And yoga is what saved me from my pain, and breathwork and meditation is what saved me from my panic attacks. I will be forever grateful for those practices, and I think that's why I wanted to share them with other people so badly, because I knew the benefits that they gave to me, and so I wanted to help other people with that as well. So like I said, I became a yoga instructor in 2016, also got certified in yoga nidra meditation, got certified in a bunch of different things. I'm really, really very glad that I did. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't find breathwork, if I'd still be having panic attacks, if I'd still be in a really toxic job. I don't know. I apologize for going off on a tangent, but it's important to talk about those things. And now I want to share with you my 3 favorite types of breathwork. So the first one is called the 4-7-8 breath, which we'll walk through. The second one is called the sigh breath. And the third one, which is my favorite, is called Nadi Shodhana. So for the 4-7-8 breath, what you do is you inhale for a count of 4, you hold the breath at the top of the inhale for a count of 7, and you exhale for a count of 8. So let's go ahead and practice that one now so that you see what it feels like. Go ahead and inhale really deeply for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale slowly. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is great for calming the nervous system and settling any anxiety that you might be feeling. And what I do is I run through that 4 times. or more if I feel like it. I've also done that one 4-7-8 breath if I'm laying in bed and I can't fall asleep. So I'll run through it as many times as I can in order to relax the body, and then at some point I'll fall asleep. Like I'm just like running through it and I fall asleep in the middle of it. So that one I do feel is very helpful if you're having trouble sleeping. This is another one. The sigh breath is another one that's very good if you're having trouble sleeping. So this is how it goes. You're just going to inhale deeply and exhale like you're sighing. Just sigh it out with the exhale. Also, sometimes I like to get the shoulders involved, so I like lift the shoulders up to my ears as I'm inhaling and then just allow them to drop down on the exhale. So it's just like helping to allow to release some extra tension in the shoulders. If you have a shoulder injury, I wouldn't do this one because like the dropping down, sometimes I've heard people report that it doesn't feel good if they've had a shoulder injury. So just keep that in mind. So go ahead and deeply inhale. Exhale with a sigh. Let's do it one more time and get the shoulders involved. Again, at your discretion. So inhaling deeply, bringing the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale with a sigh. Allow the shoulder to drop down. Let's do it one more time. Deeply inhale. Exhale with a sigh. And then my third technique is called Nadi Shodhana. This one is a little bit more complicated, but once you get the flow of it, it becomes easier. So traditionally, you tuck in your first two fingers and you're going to use your thumb and your ring finger to plug your nostrils. We're going to be moving back and forth, only breathing out of one nostril at a time. If this hurts your hand to hold it like this, you can just simply use your first finger and your thumb to just block each nostril. So I'm going to show you how it flows and then we'll do it together. So you're going to block one nostril, you're going to inhale, you're going to switch, and then exhale through the opposite. Inhale through the same nostril, switch, exhale through the opposite. And that's how it's going to flow. It's inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, switch, exhale. Inhale, switch, exhale. That's the whole flow. So if you'd like to practice this along with me, go ahead and plug your right nostril. Inhale through the left. Switch, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Switch, exhale right. Inhale right. Switch, exhale left. And return to normal breath. This one is very grounding, and it also has been proven that it regulates both sides of the brain. So it's very good at helping with stress. I usually practice this one when I'm in the car, like during a traffic jam. I'll just sit in my car and slowly do this. It is very calming to me, so that is one of my favorite breaths to practice. Some other ones that are really popular, they're not necessarily my favorite, but they are very popular and helpful, is called the box breath. So you inhale for 4, hold the breath for a count of 4, exhale for 4, and hold the breath again for a count of 4, and you just keep doing that. That's the box breath. Some other types of breath work. Sometimes when I'm inhaling, I just picture, like, let's say I'm holding tension in the body and I feel like tension in my shoulders or tension in my lower back or in the jaw. I'll picture the energy as I inhale flowing to those places, and then as I exhale, almost like a magical energy, it flowing out and it's releasing any tension that part of the body is feeling. I really like doing that one, especially before sleep as well. Sometimes I'll do that one before sleep. It's almost like a progressive body relaxation. Like I'll inhale, picturing that energy of the inhale moving to the head, and I'll exhale and releasing any tension that the head or the neck or the jaw is holding. Again, inhaling, focusing that energy in the chest, exhaling, releasing any energy or tension that the body is holding. Also, a new one I've been practicing is called the candle breath. So you inhale, and as you exhale, you purse your lips like you're blowing out a candle, like that one really just helps you to slow down the exhale, which again, as you slow down the exhale, it's engaging the parasympathetic nervous system, telling the body it's okay to relax. Another one that's good is the hum exhale. So you inhale deeply, and then on the exhale you do a hum. So it could just be ha, or each chakra has like a hum that's in alignment with that chakra. So I'm looking it up because I can't remember exactly what the hum is for each chakra. Okay, here it is. So for the root chakra, it's lam, like L-A-M, lam. So you would kind of chant that as you're exhaling. For the sacral chakra, it's Vam, V-A-M. Solar chakra, it's Ram, R-A-M. Heart chakra, it's Yam, Y-A-M. Throat chakra, it's Hum, H-A-M. Third eye is Om. So we all know Om. We're very familiar with that one. That's a common one I'll do when I exhale, just Om. And then the crown chakra is a silent Om. So there you go. That's also helpful. Another thing about breath work, and this touches on last week's episode where we were talking about rebuilding self-trust, is breath work is very good at rebuilding self-trust, because I know I'm here for myself and I'm coming home to myself every single time I practice breath work. And I'm giving myself self-compassion and self-care every time I practice breath work. Like noticing that your body is tense, doing a moment of breath work. Noticing that you're not sleeping well, doing a moment of breath work. That's all self-love. It's all coming home to yourself. Those are all practices of giving yourself what the body needs, which is, again, building more self-trust. So this is what I encourage you to do. Start small. Do one breath work a day. Do one deep inhale a day and see how it affects you. If you notice that the body has a really good reaction, maybe bump it up to twice a day. 2 deep inhales a day. You know what I mean? And then you can add to that if you like. Maybe like with me, you can have a certain area of your life where you know you're going to practice breath work. Like if you're alone in the car, or right before bed, or right when you wake up, or right when you're transitioning to a new task, or maybe after a really stressful task. Sometimes I'll do that. Like, let's say I have a work meeting and it's kind of stressful, or, I had an ASAP task that needed to be done and I was rushing to get it done. And then afterwards I noticed that my body is really tense. I'm like, okay, I need to go lay down on my mat, do some stretching, do some breath work, or just simply sit at my desk, continue to sit at my desk and do 5 minutes of breath work or 60 seconds of breath work. All of it is helpful. You can also stack it with something else that you do daily. Let's say like you're making yourself a cup of tea. Okay, while I'm making this tea, I'm going to do some deep inhales and some slow exhales. Or while I'm brushing my teeth. Or while I'm getting the kids ready for bed. Whatever it is, whatever you choose, whatever's going to work best with your life. Also, another great way to use breath work is when you're angry, when you're upset, when you're in the middle of an argument, when you need a more calm place for decision making. When you know you might become emotionally reactive, like let's say if you are in the middle of an argument, taking a moment to breathe, taking a moment to center the body. Because as we know, when the body is really tense, when we're in a very reactive emotional state, sometimes we can say things that we regret, say things that we don't mean. So we never want to react from that space. And so maybe just giving yourself a second to walk in the other room, do some breath work, take a bathroom break, whatever it is, and then come back from a more grounded place. Also, progress in regards to breath work, it's not about intensity, it's about consistency. It's not about perfection. It's about asking, what can I do in this moment to help me feel more relaxed? Breath work is usually my number one answer. Also, I do want to point something else out. Every person is going to be different, right? What makes each person calmer is going to be a little bit different. Maybe there's one particular breath work that you like more than the others, or maybe it's not breath work at all. Maybe it's dancing around your room. Maybe it's listening to your favorite uplifting music. Maybe it's screaming into a pillow. It's whatever works for you. But it's finding that thing. For me, it's breath work. For me, breath work is the golden ticket for me. But for somebody else, it might not be. But it's doing different things every day to try and calm the body, to try and regulate the nervous system, and finding what works best for you. But here's what I want you to most walk away from. Your breath, that tool is always here for you. Whether you're in the middle of a stressful office, whether you're at home, whether you're in the car, it is always here for you. It is always available for you at any second of the day. So just try it. See how it makes you feel. See if it makes you feel better. Plus, it's free. If it's free, it's for me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Just a few reminders, my book, Don't You Dare, is available for purchase on Amazon. It's also linked below. If you want to learn more about the ego voice and dive into shadow work, it is a beautiful tool for that. I also have my Most Loved Meditation Bundle available for purchase. That's linked below. It's my highest rated meditations over the years. I also created an affirmation reset course that is coming soon, so be sure to stay tuned. As well, I offer coaching and hypnotherapy services. If you're interested in a session with me, please visit my website, meganshirey.com, meganshirey.com. I'm also a meditation instructor on the Insight Timer app. I teach there every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 9 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Mountain, 7 a.m. Pacific. If you enjoy these episodes, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It helps us to reach more listeners. And please, please leave us a review. It helps us to expand this community. May you be happy, may you be well, may you be joyous and at ease. And until next time.